Graphite stocks like HEG, Graphite India have gone up like 10 to 15% today, but on the other hand, due to the GST hike fear, a lot of Good stocks like ITC, Varun Beverages have gone down, and a lot of other interesting news. Hey guys, welcome to Post Market Report. And as you can see, we have the Nifty chart here today, opened with a slight gap up and then headed upwards through the entire of the day. So clearly a bullish day. So the main news of the day is actually the graphite shares. As you can see, Graphite India has gone up about 9% and HEG up about 14%. So obviously these companies are involved in graphites, and graphite is one of the key instrument that is used in the chip making process. So now this all again goes back to the US and China relationship, where actually just a few days ago imposed another set of sanction on chip restrictions on China. So basically, what they did was, they realized Biden, just before he actually resigned as the president of United States, he mentioned, what, we're gonna put another one. This is basically the third crackdown in the last 3 years where they are trying to impose some restrictions. So China will not be able to create more chips. So the more chips there are, more advancement in AI will happen. As we all know, to keep this AI, artificial intelligence, keep going, we need a lot of graphic card chips. And now basically the war is going on between the materials that is used in these chips, and clearly America imposed a sanction. That is, they put some restriction. What, we're not gonna give you some materials that is used in the making of these chips. And as a result, now today we notice that China actually put a ban on gallium and some other uh, items that are used in the chip making process. So clearly this will impact US in creating more chips. But now the reason this particular news is actually surging a increase in all our graphite shares is basically because now that China has stopped giving all these materials, India will be the importer of these items. So clearly, now this is a very great news for Indian stocks like HEG and Graphite India. And next off, we have GST Council, which will be actually holding on, I think, 9th of September, that is Monday. So clearly we will notice a huge volatility in the overall markets on the day of the council. But before that itself, we have quite a bit of news in the market as to what happens, what is actually being discussed in the council. And one of the things is the health insurance, and apparently the government has decided to reduce the tax on all these premiums. So clearly what happens now, whenever I buy a health insurance, it's going to cost a little bit less for me. So as a result, and this is obviously a good thing for all the companies that try to sell insurance like Niva Bupa or Star Health. So clearly we noticed 11% raise in Niva Bupa and about 3 to 4% rise in the Star Health insurance. So next off, we have another major thing that every year whenever a GST council takes place, one thing that will be discussed in detail is the sin codes. And sin codes is basically, if you have no idea about it, it may be cigarette, alcohol, or even gambling and betting. These all actually come under sin, so they call it as sin goods or sin stocks. And we notice all the sin related stocks fell today, and that is because they believe that the GST rate for these will be increased to 35%. And if you just take a look at the existing structure, we have GST pay 4 different slabs, that is 5%, 12, 18 and 28%. 28 was the maximum amount of GST that could have been imposed on a particular good. But now they are saying in the next GST council that will be held on next Monday, apparently a new special rate of 35% will be introduced for all these sin goods. And we know, it makes very less difference. Clearly people who want to smoke will smoke by paying extra some 35% tax, but it might impact the revenue of these companies. So today we noticed a slight decline in the shares of ITC and Varun Beverages. As you can see, Varun Beverages also fell about, opened with a huge gap up of 3-4%, but later recovered slightly. Same with ITC, opened with a huge gap down. Same with Godfrey Phillips, which is also another tobacco manufacturer, and BST Industries. Basically they also create some sort of a beverage, and apparently that will also come under the GST restrictions. So clearly we noticed a a significant downfall in all these stocks. And next off, we have Adani Ports. Every day they hit the news with some or the other news, and today, obviously, with a positive news, as you can see, Adani Ports up by 5.86%. Adani Enterprise, the parent company, is also up by 2.2%. And basically, this comes after several good news about the updates of the company. For example, the news is actually so good that even CARE Ratings have updated its recent acquisitions from they have now come back to double A from triple B. So there are a lot of good news fundamentally about Adani, especially because Adani Port, they have apparently handled somewhere close to 36 MMT worth of cargo in November, which is a great thing for the company, and it's also 21% higher than what they used to handle in the last, that is November 2023. So clearly, the company has acquired a lot of other cargo, shipments, and clearly we can see it in the fundamental financials of the company. So clearly, market is reacting very heavily to it after the fall that we saw in the last month. And next off, we have HDFC Bank, and as you can see, we also discussed this particular stock in our weekly analysis. If you have not watched that, please go to our YouTube channel and check out the weekly analysis, where you'll be able to see a complete MTF analysis, that is multi-time frame analysis of HDFC Bank, formed a really good structure. And clearly today also we noticed a huge block deal that was taking place. As a result, the stock was one among the top gainers. And next off, we have Wakarange shares, which was also locked in a 5% upper circuit today, because Central Bank of India is offering some sort of a banking service and they're partnering with them. So we noticed it was one of the top gainers for the day. And next off, we have Swiggy, which actually posted its quarterly results after coming with an IPO in the stock market, and we noticed the net loss is 625 crores, and I believe it's about 20 to 30 crore less than what it was last year, but still has not turned net profit. But at least it has posted a less amount of loss. And one of the most important thing again to notice is Instamart revenue, which has actually apparently doubled. It's a good thing for the company, and as you can notice, they used to have a loss of 657 crores, but compared to this quarter, they have made about 625 crores worth of loss. And revenue, which is actually the most important thing here, which is actually up by 30% from 2700 crores to it has become 3600 crore.
If you are a trader following market calls and tips for day trading, use our tool RNT, Research and Trade. All you have to do is link RNT to your trading account, then just sit and relax. Turn trading into business at app.gwcindia.live. Check out description for more details.
Disclaimer: investments in the securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.